detriment because neither of these politicians are offering anything for the black community. That's no, that's my most important thing. What are you offering for the black community? Neither one of these politicians are offering anything now. In my personal opinion, Trump is the lesser two evils because he has some actual good policies for the American people, right? For America as a whole. Now there are some that I don't agree with, but most of them, for the most part, I do agree with. As far as bringing this country, um, it's for this country. Excuse me, y'all. But let's keep going.
because we're not going to have America anymore. It's not going to be the land of the free. It's not going to be what we have known our whole lives. We're living in a very scary time right now. And a lot of you just don't realize it, mainly because you're not in a sanctioned city, which is great. I'm honestly happy that you guys are not living in a sanctioned city. But for those of us that are, you really just need to pay attention to what's happening because soon they're going to leave the sanctioned cities, and some of them already have and have gone to different states, cities. So if you think it's only going to happen in these sanctioned cities, you're very wrong. It's a
So yeah, some of them are leaving the sanctuary cities, and it's going to spread out and become a American issue. Um, these sanctuary cities are already overcrowded, and the thing about these sanctuary cities, right? Because it is the governor's fault. I mean, the mayor's fault and the governor's fault, right? Because they're complicit and they're in agreement with this. And instead of standing by the governor of Texas and agreeing with him and saying, hey, we need to close off this border. We need to have a process to where we're vetting people that's coming in, not stopping immigration as a whole, right? But we really need to vet these people that's coming in because this is a national crisis. They're continually to stick by it, right? They're continually to say, no, we're not going to do that. We still want to be a sanctuary city. We are in agreement with all these people crossing the border and not being vetted.
eventually going to spread, but this is where it's starting. And they are slowly taking over Denver. It's happening right before our eyes, and no one's doing anything about it. If I would get pulled over on the side of the road and had guns in my vehicle or pounds of marijuana or cocaine, guess who's getting arrested? Me. Obviously, it's illegal. I'm doing things I shouldn't be doing. But these people are coming in doing all sorts of illegal things and not getting arrested, not getting kicked out of the country. We're handing these people money. We're handing these people tools to find ways and make it possible for them to overtake certain places and cities.
Yeah, exactly what I said. They're militarizing these illegal migrants against us, giving them money, giving all these benefits, not doing anything about any of the crimes that they are committing, letting them run free, letting them run rampant, letting them build a whole economic base to wage war against us. And if they can do two apartment complexes, soon it's gonna be a whole soon it's gonna be a whole neighborhood. Then next is gonna be whole towns, then whole cities, right? They can do apartment complexes. They can easily do a small town of 300, 500 people. If the people let them and they're not prepared, these people don't have no weapons on them. They can easily do a whole county with the more resources because the more stuff they take over, the more resource sources they gonna get. If nobody is not going to do anything against them, even the police officers, I mean, what you think is going to happen? So this could be a major problem in the future if this is not stopped. But I doubt it's going to be stopped. I feel like this is the plan from the get go, to destroy America from the inside out, and this was set up all along. That's why every time we mention the border or somebody's mentioned the border to Kamala or even Joe Biden, they stay off that topic. They don't never address it. They don't never get into detail of why the border is just wide open like it is. Because they have a more sinister plan at play. And nobody is not paying attention to that. If you think that abortion, same sex marriage, which I mean, I'm not in agreement, with either one of those, but I mean, if that's what you want to do, you're a grown person. But if you think that's more of an issue than your actual safety, hey,
I'm I'm very nervous. I have a hard time even falling asleep at night right now because that's how nervous I am. And again, that's not like me. I am not typically someone who gets nervous or afraid. Homeless people don't freak me out. You see the people on the streets tweaking out from drugs. That stuff doesn't freak me out. What freaks me out is these Venezuelan gang members that are overtaking the city of Denver. And I know it's happening in other sanctioned cities. And I feel like half of the world, half of America, half of the United States doesn't understand what's happening. And
don't. They're oblivious. They're oblivious. And I can tell from the DNC convention, right? All they got to do is, all these politicians and ex-politicians have to do is just make a good speech, cater to their emotions, make them feel some type of way without addressing any other major issues or having a plan. And hey, these people just fall in line for it. They don't care. They care about symbolism and history more than their actual safety, than the fact that they're actually voting for their demise, voting for they self to be replaced. Black people, because you continue to vote Democrat, you're gonna vote for Kamala. You're voting for yourself to be replaced because the goal is to that one of the goals is, like I said, they're here for multiple reasons. One of the goals is to replace the voter block. So if they can replace the voter block with these migrants, they're not going to need the black vote and anything can go.
that's what scares me the most is that it's just not known that this is happening. Um so I just encourage you to do your research on what's happening right now. Venezuelan, it's actually a fact and known. You can find this online that they emptied their prisons, which is where all of these gang members came from. It's actually a gang known in Venezuelan prison. That's who's in our country right now. It's not just Venezuelans that wanted a better life. They emptied their prisons out.
Clean their prisons out. Clean their prisons out. That's why it was a lot of military age men crossing this border. Like I said, I don't hear any Venezuelan migrants speaking out against this. So, in my personal opinion, kind of just seem like they're all in cahoots with this. And I'm not trying to just single them out, but they're causing the most mayhem, right? I'm not trying to demonize a whole group of people or anything like that, but we're talking about facts. This is what's going on. So, uh, If they're coming over here and causing all this mayhem, and our governors or just letting them, or our mayors are just letting them, every law enforcement is just turning a blind eye to it. It seems like this was the plan all along, and they know it's the plan, so they're doing their jobs.
Venezuelan, if you look up the facts right now, their murders have gone down 80% since our border opened. Where do you think they are? They're here. They're in America. Guys, again, I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care. I don't care. I respect it. But I'm telling you, being pro abortion, same sex marriage, I know all of that is important, but it is not going to matter because our world will go to shit. Our country is going to go to shit.
It's already going to shit. And I'm going to say this, right? A lot of the problems that we're facing is from the it's from Democratic administrations. You take a look from '08 to now, right? Who has been in office the most? Mostly the Democratic Party. Mostly the Democratic Party. Trump only had 4 years of that. So when they're in a DNC convention constantly talking about Trump this, Trump that, Trump only been in there 4 years. That 4 years honestly wasn't really bad. Let's be honest. Trump only been in office 4 years. The Democratic Party being in office the rest of that time. So from '08 to 2016, right? '08 from 2016, that's 8 years right there. And then another 4 years, 20 to 2024, that's 4 years right there. So the Democratic Party had 12 years in office. Trump only had 4. So if you take a look at all the problems that's going on today, take a look at who's been in office. Let's keep it a beam. And I'm not saying that the Republican Party is for black people or black people need to vote for Republican, but I'm just saying, just take a look at what's going on. Um, this country has been going to shit.
If we do not put someone back in as president like Trump, and I'm not a diehard Trump person, I never have been. I think he can be arrogant, says stupid shit, but what's happening right now is not okay. It's not okay. Um, so I would really just encourage you guys to do your research. Democrat, Republican, whatever your views are, right?
And I'm gonna say this. That's why me personally, I'm not voting for Trump. I know some black people are, and I can understand why. But me personally, I can't back either party unless Trump has a straight up and down plan, economic plan for the black community. If it's not reparations, he still needs to have something tangible. If he can have something tangible, okay, then okay, maybe I can vote for him because he's offered something tangible. But if not, I'm not, like I said this before, right? I'm not going to vote for my own demise in either way, shape, or form. So I'm just not going to participate because if you vote in either of these parties or either of these politicians turn on you, you were basically in agreement with your own demise, and I would not be doing that. And I will do another video getting into why I can't really back Trump. I'm going to probably do that. I'm going to have a little short series of that coming up soon because a lot of the same people that's backing the Democratic Party is backing Trump as well, right? It's sending dollars to Trump campaign as well. So I'm going to get into that later because these politics is like a game of good cop, bad cop. So if you're not getting nothing specifically for your group, if I'm not getting nothing specifically for my group, I'm not voting. I'm just going to vote local elections.
Right now, I don't think that matters. I don't think it matters if we're Democrat, Republican. We need to all come together as one to fix what's happening in our country. Because if we don't, we're not going to have one to then vote Democrat or Republican. It's not going to matter because we're not going to have it's just my
It's not going to be an option. You're not going to have an option to vote for this or vote for that. It's going to be borderline. It's pretty much going to be a dictatorship, right? Because with the way this country is going in, especially with the Democratic Party, it's going to be more of like a socialist, globalist type deal. That's what it's going to be. And then the thing is, people like to talk about the Agenda 2025, but what they're not mentioning is the Agenda 2030. Hmm? You will own nothing and be happy. They're not talking about that. They're quick to talk about this Agenda 2025. They're not bringing up Agenda 2030, which I will do another video breaking that down later. You will own nothing and be happy. What you think they're trying to do?
mind blowing that this is happening and no one's doing anything about it. I'm being led to buy a gun just to feel safe. That's crazy. That's crazy.
And like I said before, ladies, you should have you a gun, learn how to shoot anyways, just because what type of time and environment that we're in, trafficking is running rapid. Um, it's at an all-time high, which I also think is linked to the border as well. So yeah.
Um so please just do your research, guys. Be woke. I guess that's a term that these young people are using, be woke. But seriously, wake up because you and your kids are eventually not going to be safe if this continues. Um, so yeah, guys, I mean, I don't even have anything else to say. I just really felt led to share something that's going on in Denver because I feel like so many people don't know, don't realize what is happening. And if Denver doesn't start doing something, or these other sanctioned cities, I know New York City is a huge issue right now too. Um, we will not, Americans will not have control over these cities soon. I mean, it's getting to the point where like the people in Denver are going to all leave, and then it's going to be these Venezuelan people, these immigrants running these cities, and then eventually states. Like, I don't know what the future holds, but I can tell you it's not good if things don't change.
Yep. And that's what's going to happen. They're going to keep taking over and pushing us, pushing the American citizens out. You know, it's going to be theirs. It's going to be chaotic. And this, for those of y'all that's casting y'all votes, this is what y'all in agreement with. And the thing is, I know a lot of the Democratic people, the people that's die hard Democrats, no matter what, they only see one side of the media. They're not really paying attention to everything that's going on. Now, like I said, it's better to listen to the people in those communities, listen to the people that's in the streets, seeing what's going on with their own eyes, because the media is not going to share everything. And this is why I can say this is the upside of TikTok, because you can actually see what's going on from the people in these communities. Don't just look at the media. Listen to what the people are saying, because they're out on the street. They're seeing what's going on with their own eyes. The media is not going to share everything, because as you can see, They only gave very little details about what's going on. So yeah, this is like I said, this whole segment is going to be in multiple parts. That's how I'm gonna do all my segments from now on. It's going to be multiple parts. So I will get into some more at a later time, later day. So peace.